All right, so for topic 4, this is going to come out probably on Thursday, so the day after Assassin's Creed Syndicate comes out. So
And
I have so much thoughts of why I hate Assassin's Creed and why it needs to stop, even though I want to play this new one.
even though it's a powerhouse franchise and comes out
See,
annually.
this is the thing. It doesn't change what it does, which is a bad argument because neither does Call of Duty. But at
Yeah.
least Call of Duty you can play over and over again and not get fucking bored. And it's just if they took time to set Assassin's Creed aside and like make it into like a every 2 years or every 3 years, like a GTA or something, those games would be so fucking good, and everyone would have to play them.
Yep, and they wouldn't have to recycle the same universe or time
Yep.
period.
Because I'm gonna look up right.
Because we got three fucking Italian ones,
When did Assassin's
which
Creed One come out? It came out, I think,
2007.
2007. Let's
I
find
think.
it. I'm gonna look it up while we talk. But like, I believe from the first one to the second one, I think there was a few years in between them. I don't know if that's 100% right, but I'm gonna look into it.
It might have been '06 and '08, maybe.
Assassin's
No,
Creed, the first one came out in '07. Let's see when the second one came out. See,
I think it was the end of
do
'08.
you?
To
I
be honest,
feel like, I mean, I guess they might have annualized it at that point.
maybe not
Why did I
though.
click? Oh, I want the second one.
Like,
Assassin's Creed
10,
2.
11.
Here we go. Oh
I
nine.
think. I think.
So
Okay.
2 years, and
Okay.
I bought the second one. I had to play that one. That was probably the one of the better ones.
And they kind of did fix the faults from the first one because the first one was even more repetitive than it is
But
now.
then after that,
And they changed the setting and they put like more mechanics into it.
that must have been the
And the
point where
story was way better.
after that, that must have been the point they annualized it. Yep, Brotherhood 2010, which means Revelations
That was another Italian one.
2011. Oh yeah. See, it's
Revelations was basically the same character, but it can
people loved
concept.
Ezio though.
Was it
Ezio.
con?
I don't know how to say his
Yeah,
name.
I liked him.
I mean,
Roger Craig Smith was probably fucking happy about that. He gets to be Chris Redfield and Ezio, and now he's on MasterChef now, or not MasterChef, Hell's
this
Kitchen.
I mean this next one coming out looks different kind of, but I don't think it's not some
Does it?
I mean,
It looks very similar to
isn't it
Unity.
a different
I
time
mean,
period or is it the same time period?
it's at
I'm gonna
it's in London. I forget when. I think Unity was like. I want to say it's like around the beginning of the 1600s.
I'm gonna look
I could be
up.
completely wrong because I don't remember. I I didn't get a history degree, nor would I remember if I did. So
Um, Syndicate set in London in 18
Syndicate's the start of the
the
Industrial
Industrial
Revolution,
Revolution. So that's
which intrigues me.
1868. That's when that was. Let's see when this one when Unity was.
Yeah, so it's
French
probably 60 years.
Revolution, which was let's find out. 1789. So that's almost like 100 years. So I mean, it's that.
Wait, so this one's prior
No,
to?
this one's after it. It's Industrial Revolution.
Did you say
No,
16 or not?
1868 was industrial,
Oh, okay,
and French
okay,
was 1768 or something like that.
okay. So 100 years.
So, but it's just like it's at a point where it just has like a like it. I feel like it's like you with Call of Duty. Like you get the same shit, so you don't even want to buy the next one. And that's how I feel. Haven't you bought like all the Assassin's Creeds since the first one, or well, played them at least?
Yes, and the only one I didn't 100% was the multiplayer DLC on Revolution because Revolution was the first one that I felt that I got gypped out of stuff that they rushed it out.
And that's how I mean. Like, didn't they put out two last year? That's just absurd. They don't like,
Yeah, Unity and Rogue.
and like
It also might have just been because it was the transition between the
that's
360 and
that's
the one.
possible.
They were trying to appease both people, but they also had Black Flag on both systems, so why didn't they do it
And Unity's
then?
fucking release shit the bed. That was like the you didn't buy
Yeah,
it at first, I think, because of all the glitches and
no, I
shit.
correct,
And
which was good.
but
Which I would probably warn and advise that maybe people should wait a little
oh,
bit to see what happens on this one.
definitely.
Because just in general, I feel like I feel like the publishers are pushing the developers harder than they have in the past, like maybe decade or so, which, and then the publishers are just kind of like, yeah, we just got to get out the door, and like now this precedence that you can release something and patch it up
That's
later.
the worst thing for the industry, realistically. Like it used
Yeah.
to be
Yep.
like N64 and PlayStation and stuff. Like you need to make sure the game works, or no one's gonna buy
Yep.
it. And
Yep.
now it's just buy it. Probably not gonna work on day one.
That also might be because you had to put it on a cartridge and it cost all that manufacturing cost, and they didn't want to like put out a bad one because then you have to recall them all, and then you have to fucking make them again. But now it's just a digital thing, so you can literally just update your fucking code and shit.
Yeah.
So it's easier for them. They have more freedom. They're not as handcuffed, I'd say, and they can just do that. I still wouldn't suggest against it.
Do you?
And like GTA that takes the time, the development time to make a game and stuff, and then they launch live and it does bad, they get fucking shit
That's
on.
true.
So like even the ones that do it right and have good intentions,
It
they still get fucking chastised by everybody. So like they're probably like, I don't know, we're getting pressure from the fucking develop or the publisher, and we're probably gonna get shit from the fucking gamers
yeah,
anyway.
just
So they're
release it, get the money.
just fucking shell it out. Like, who
It's
cares?
just like it. I feel like it used, at least with the first one. I remember I saw the first one either like commercial or I saw it in store, and I was like, "This fucking looks awesome." And then I played that, and it fucking was awesome. And I was like, "Def."
Which one are you
The
talking about?
first Assassin's Creed, and then
Yeah,
the second one came out. I was like,
those trailers were really
"Yeah," I
well
was like, "I
done.
gotta get the second one." And then it just like the next year comes out. I was like, "Well, Call of Duty's coming out in 2 weeks. Do I want to buy another game that's gonna come like yearly?" And I have like it's overdone, I guess, which I understand because they're probably making like the around the same amount of money each year, which eventually people are gonna have to get used. Like people complain about it, but then they go out and buy it. So I don't know.
Yeah, like yeah, with a lot of franchises.
I guess
Um, I might take a break on this one, to be
I was thinking
honest.
about
I'll
redboxing
see
it and
ya.
maybe let's playing it just through
Yeah,
Redbox.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's because we want to make videos too. But
I'd understand not buying
I'm
it.
definitely not buying it right away, and I'll probably wait for a bunch of reviews and stuff and see if they change my mind because I don't really. The character seems kind of he almost seems like less human this time. Like he's almost like a Batman type thing. 'Cause the most recent trailer that just came out where he's just like ripping it, like he's fighting on top of like carriages and
Mm-hmm.
shit and on bridges, and I'm just like, okay. And then he just says one line, and it sounds like he's fucking Batman.
Well,
And I'm just like, I don't
so, like
know.
they're catching up to present day, so I don't know. Like at some point, they're either gonna have.
Oh, they can take it wherever the fuck they want. There's no present day story really anymore.
I know, but like
But their present day story is they go back into any memory they want and just research stuff so they can commercialize it.
But the
That's the only fucking present day story, which is a fault that they should fucking try to fix.
I
I mean,
like the Desmond story when he was in it. I mean,
yeah, but there's no Desmond for the past like three
I don't know.
games,
That was
so
weird. Like, I don't. That's not the reason I haven't played the new ones because I just
like I accepted it after the first one because they clearly after the first one they had a plan to do the 2012 Mayan calendar
yep.
thing. And then they were like, we're making money from this, so we should probably keep going. So the first game after that, they did the whole present day thing where they just kind of threw in the present day universe, which is basically 3 floors of a corporate building, and you go back into your memories, and they have like certain times where they pull you out of the thing just so they don't, so just so it distracts you from it being stagnant. And it's just like, so I gave them a pass on that one, but now they're just kind of like leaning into that. They're like, we don't need another central character in the present day or anything, or any story in the present
That's
day.
what made it like seem cooler than just being an assassin back in like the whenever the first one came on because you like there was you were you
And they had those glitches that you could like you had to actually pay attention
yeah.
to, and
It's just like I don't know.
the interactions with Lucy when you were out. Now it's just like you talk to the Melanie chick and then she's just gone. She leaves you all the time. She's like, I gotta go to the
There's just
meeting.
something about those games that just like they are boring and like there's too many tailing missions in that game, which I like.
Yeah, tailing missions in general in any
I feel
game
like in
suck.
Assassins, they're like that's what you do. You get to an area,
They do it a
you
lot, yeah.
tail the fucking guy you need to assassinate, and then you fucking kill him over and over.
And that's the thing. That's my problem with it is they don't feel like assassinations. First one, they made it clear that you should probably go out, scope out your competition, find the best way to like kind of like a hitman thing.
Yep.
Like hitman, and if you actually take the time to look around, you can realize you can booby trap the fucking fire extinguisher or not the fire extinguisher, like the grill, like put extra fucking kerosene on it or something. And the second he goes to cook, he's fucking up in flames. And it's like, okay, cool, thanks, bye. And you feel like a fucking assassin. These ones, they're just like, I mean, sometimes I try to air assassinate the guy, get into perfect position, and get him in one shot. But then if I don't, I just chase him and then kill
See,
him
that's what I
anyway.
usually did in, like in 1 and 2. I'd find him and I just fucking sprint out into the field and just stab him.
Yeah, and they're fine with it, which is, defeats the
Yeah,
purpose.
it
Like the
does.
first one, I felt like I was at least doing something. I was interrogating people. I was fucking eavesdropping on them, and I was trying to get like ways to get them. Now I don't. So like I kind of want to see the franchise either take a break or kind of fail a little bit so that they can go back to the drawing board and be like, we should try to make this more
Make
cool.
it like I'm an
Because like
assassin.
Because like even like the camera mode, where the camera is positioned in the games, it's kind of too far back. Like I feel like if it was more like closer to his shoulder, like I know I'm nitpicking here, but
It's a
like
good point though.
it would set a different tone to like you're actually in the position, you're actually the one that's in control of the assassination, which I'm sure the fucking people that want to shut down games will have a field day with that comment if they're listening. But honestly, like I wouldn't make it first person per se, but like more of an over the shoulder type one where it's more extreme close in, and you actually have to like hunt the guy. Like Prey 2, the game that like had a really good trailer, like I was like, oh shit. If I'm actually like hunting down stuff and doing research and like I mean I know the typical gamer just wants shit like fast and frantic, but I don't know. You could have these segments where you're killing like his underlings or something, but the second you go for the main
It,
fucking guys, like the first game I had what like nine guys you
Something
had to
like that.
assassinate.
It's been a while.
Now it's just like there's one main villain and then a bunch of no names like ooh, and one guy has a shield or a spear that's different, and but the arsenals are also crazy. You have so many tools at your disposal now, like three different bombs, fucking three different
Well, I mean, they are
darts,
moving up
a
like
gun,
the time
two
periods.
guns, two swords. Yeah.
Do you think once like not virtual, well, I guess it is VR, but do you think once you get like the headset, like an Oculus or I don't know what the other ones are called. I forget what they're called. But do you think that might change how the Assassin's game are? Like if you're wearing the mask and you're like in first person as an assassin?
Uh, I would suggest doing that because that would be bad. It's basically like, oh, why don't they make Manhunt 3 then or something? Like we can just have serial killers in virtual
Well,
reality. And I'm sure when they take the headset off, they'll be perfect normal human
but
beings.
I'm
But yeah,
assuming that like once VR comes out, every game is going to try to incorporate them in some way.
uh, the same way that every game tried to incorporate Connect.
Yeah, but I've heard a lot of good
PlayStation.
things about VR. I didn't hear fucking
Yeah,
like
yeah, but that's also isn't there also like a $3,000 price tag right now?
that's what the developmental
So
kit, but
no.
I mean, once it's going to come out and they're probably going to be like 300, which is absurd, but I understand why they would have to do that. And I don't know if I'm going to buy one right away. Probably.
And then, but it still has the same problem as the Kinect. Like you need the room to be able to move around and stuff. And then what do you do when? What if you do if like the guy starts running away? What if you botch the fucking assassination? You have to run after the guy. He's sprinting in place.
Well,
Like, does it gauge your sprinting abilities in real life? Like, oh, this guy ran a fucking he ran like a 4-2 fucking four whatever the fucking whatever the football thing is. The
well, no, I
training.
think it's based.
What do they
I
call it?
think you play with a headset, but you also still have a controller to like control yourself. But like that's just for
Maybe.
moving, not for like looking around. Which I mean, it's going to be weird once it comes out, and it's probably going to take. That thing has to come out and be like instantly a success for those to like for them to make good games, because that's what the problem with the Kinect. The Kinect came out and there was nothing, so people are like, why would I get one of these?
And then they had videos of like doctors using it to do surgeries, and I was like, oh god, that person died.
It's just, I mean, I could see maybe that. I think Assassins will definitely try something with it. I mean, they'd be dumb not to if it becomes popular, but it might.
But then again, I feel like they have to fail a little bit, otherwise they're in the Call of Duty frame of mind, and something has to change, or some competitor has to come up that like makes them have to change how they're doing
That's
things.
what I also. I hate the people that like.
I'm sure they have something in the works, but I don't know if they'd launch it right
Like
away.
obviously, there would have to be a big portion of people to stop buying a game for it to like matter and for them to change. But I hate the people that like complain about a game. Like if it would be like if I
Okay,
complained about Assassin's Creed and then I went out and fucking bought it next week and be like, well,
which is what you're gonna do with Call of Duty
well,
anyway.
I like Call of Duty. I don't really complain about the early Call of Duty unless they make more Ghost. But
And FPS is a different beast
and
than
yeah, you can play
the
like people shit on Call of Duty, but you can play that for a year like easily.
yeah. You get your
Yeah,
money's worth, I guess.
Assassin's Creed. I have Black Flag.
Assassin's Creed did take their multiplayer was a good idea. It's still it's weird though because it's not fun to really play. But I do like seeing them take the chance. But now it didn't do well, so now I feel like they don't want to take many other chances, especially changing the formula, including the camera and the whole dynamic of how the game works. Well, I just want more of a. I want to
Feel like an
if
assassin.
if if you call it an assassin, yeah, I want like an assassin does their homework. They usually infiltrate. Like if they incorporate kind of how, like I said, Agent 47, how he plans ahead and kind of like he scouts the area, Like, what scouting the area shit do we have? The tailing mission serves as our stuff. And then they have the bonus objectives in the mission that you're pretty much focused on that too. And it's just like I don't know, the enemies aren't great really that tough. The counter thing is still easy to make combat a joke in that game.
So you
Like
kind of want like
in Dishonored, like what about Dishonored? Dishonored was like if you got caught, you were
I
fucked
never played Dishonored.
a little bit, unless you were like that kid that like can do godly things with all these abilities. But like,
No,
I don't
I
know.
get what you're saying though. It's just so you kind of want like how you feel when you're playing
It
Batman,
shouldn't be so. It shouldn't.
not
Uh,
feel like Batman, but like you
in what
like that
sense?
you're playing Batman and you feel like this is how Batman would act and this is how Batman would like do all his shit. But when you're an assassin, you're just in the games. You don't really do anything an assassin does. You're just a guy with a fucking sword usually.
Yeah,
So just
I would say that. I mean, like, there's times where I've played enough of the Batmans that I know like how all the fights go, and I just kind of like in their ham and fucking beat the shit out of everybody, as opposed to being like, oh, maybe I should. But like, like minimizing that, like in the Batman games, you do the thing where like maybe you see a Riddler guy and you're like, all right, I have to get him last. So like, how can I take or like the Predator challenge rooms, like one Predator challenge room, you kind of have to. You don't necessarily have to plan out the whole thing, but you have to be stealthy
yeah.
about it. Especially if they like sent in like other guards if you got caught or something like that, which they don't, but you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
I'm
Uh,
glad we're past. We were just talking about the multiplayer in Assassin's Creed. I'm glad we're past that era where every game would shove
Past
in
that,
multiplayer no matter what it was.
which I still feel like they're doing that, but some games are like, no, we're just gonna do
I mean,
because now I feel like there's definitely more multiplayer onlys as opposed to like people taking the stance where like, no, we're just gonna do a
well,
story.
definitely, but there was so many bad multiplayers in games. Like, I mean, Assassin's Creed wasn't terrible, but it's not something you were like, I
Like,
can't wait to fucking play that.
yeah, and Tomb Raider kind of shoved one in
Tomb
there.
Raider did. I feel like
Uncharted definitely doesn't. Yeah, Uncharted and
yeah,
Last of Us
they don't
definitely
need it.
need
Yeah,
one.
it's just it's so weird. Like I'll buy your game without multiplayer
Yeah, stick to your
as
strengths.
much as it's crazy that people
If
play.
you have the Naughty Dog writing staff, let them write. You don't need to, because usually with those ones that they shove in, like I think Darkness 2 had one that was kind of fun but kind of weird. Like they usually contract it out to a that sounds like they're contracting the disease, but they usually give it to another development team to like do it. So usually the multiplayer feels completely different from how the actual game felt, and
Definitely.
it's just like, why did you bother? Because that was my complaint with Tomb Raider. I was like, so you guys wasted resources on making a multiplayer game, and the tombs are single rooms. Like how I'm pretty sure a tomb is like it should like make it three rooms. I don't know. It's literally a single puzzle.
it's
It's not a
it's
tomb.
weird what
Just
like
because you put it off the beaten path doesn't make it a
it's
tomb.
weird what they're focusing on nowadays. Just like now it seems like they're focusing on microtransactions and all that shit, which I guess works, but I don't know. It just
Depends a lot. Well, it's a business model they know works, but they don't. I feel like they don't identify the product that they're making and assign it properly to the proper business model.
kind of like season passes where they're just like, here, it's gonna come out, but I don't know what the fuck it's gonna be. Is
Yeah, like
is
oh, that pissed me off. Dante's Inferno had like a piece of paper in the fucking disc thing where it was like, "Here's your DLC scheduled. You're getting one next month and the one another one after that." It's like, um, you could have just pretended to not have that plan in place. Like, you could have just been like, "Oh,
but
hey, the game's
see,
doing well. Here's some
would you
DLC."
rather them have, or did it like list what the DLC was gonna be, or they just had the plan?
It had the names.
That's a little bit better than like when didn't the people freak out about
But if it has the name, you know what the fucking they know what they're
that? That's
doing.
true, but didn't the Batman season pass? They're like, don't know what it's gonna be.
Yeah, they like
You should.
was that
I
that?
think so. Didn't it? It came out and then people
They kind of gave like the premise of what they were doing, but they didn't say what it was
because
going
I've
to be.
always heard that the Batman Arkham Knight season pass was like underwhelming by a lot. I don't even think you own it.
No,
Oh,
I ended up
okay. I
buying it.
was like, if you don't buy it, then there's definitely
I
something.
actually fucked up because I tried to go across all of them, and I tried to get only the ones that had DLCs attached or achievements attached to them. So I bought the Batgirl for $7, and then I like looked back at the achievement list, and like they had added on like the 2008 Tumblr DLC and the 1989 Batmobile DLC, and I'm just like, uh-oh, there's a lot more that I need. And I was just like, you know what, this is too tedious, and I ended up buying the whole season pass. Just so I ended up paying an extra like $13 because I fucked up and I got like two more things than I really needed. But I mean, that's probably. I'm not saying that's why they put 40 things in the season pass, but
All right. Well, I don't really have anything else to say about Assassin's Creed, even though we might.
hey, I want it to be more badass. That's
That's
basically my thing.
definitely what we need.
And it might be that argument where it's like, if I was a kid, I'd like the assassin, like, but you're still killing people, so that but you know what I mean. Like when I was a kid, it was okay that uh, what am I saying? Like Batman was really campy, the
Yep.
movies were really campy, and the toys came out and all that, so I was fine with it. But now that I'm more of an adult, the Christopher Nolan thing, like I want those dark, realist versions of my
Yeah.
favorite characters. So it might be that argument, but honestly, I would rather. There's too much leeway in the assassins, too much rewarding of stuff like make me feel like I'm actually having to try,
That's kind of why I
as
gave
opposed
up on the game.
as opposed to
Feel like
like
you're just going through the fucking motions and just killing things.
maybe one of the Assassin's Creed so far has had like a mission like halfway through where like you lose all your weapons or something. Like do something like Dead Space 2, the beginning, like he's in a fucking straitjacket and has no plasma cutter and shit, and it's fucking terrifying and intense and shit. And then I know he gets his plasma cutter, but like just one time, if I'm an assassin, like I get like knocked out and abducted, and I don't have my weapons or
That would
something,
definitely be a good idea to do.
and I have to choke out people stealthily. I mean, I don't want to be a
just
I
just
don't
go
know.
work for Ubisoft, Justin. It's that easy.
I wish, yeah, Ubisoft. I'll send you my resume. Prepare to be disappointed, but I could be an idea man. I think.
All right, well, let us know down in the comments if you're looking forward to Assassin's Creed Syndicate and if you'd like to see us Let's Play it, which we might depend. There's a lot of games coming out, so that might go towards the back of what games we're gonna play over Halo 4 and Call of Duty and Fallout, probably. Not really sure.
And based on the theme of the Industrial Revolution, what invention would you make if you could?
All right. Well, thanks for listening. Our podcasts are on iTunes and where it's on our channel. Obviously, on Friday, it's the full thing if you want to listen to it that way rather than individually, which I think is actually better than the full thing. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, especially with my movie topic one where I just fucking went off on a bunch of
There's
stuff.
a lot of people that like TV shows, so people would like getting that information, I think.
Maybe.
But thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.